Oh, this is John Black, Super Chemist. What? Keep having to. My videos keep getting erased here. Let's try this one more time. This is my wives, marriage, family playlist. This is part 2. On part 1, we were talking about how, women do not want bad boys, okay? People think they want bad boys, but they don't, okay? So don't think my whole life I thought, oh, you got to be mean to women, and I ain't going to be mean, and I guess, that's why my love life never works out. So I refuse to be mean to women. I treat them nice, and I treat them like queens. See, that was my problem. I thought they wanted bad boys, and I was going to refuse to be a bad boy. Even though I was a bad boy, but it still never worked out because I didn't do what it was. Is they want a leader, okay? And why are they taking the bad boys if they want a leader? Because they're the only leaders left, man. You got society, which your society itself, TV, sitcoms, movies, reality shows. They're all of them saying, the news, all of them saying, being a man is toxic. Being a leader is toxic. Women need to be leaders. Men needs to sit down and let them be leaders because they've been leaders long. Men have been leaders long enough. But that isn't the way it is. Biology says the man's the leader, and biology says the woman is a follower. That's the way biology. It's like if women were gazelles and and men were lions. A lion is a lion and a gazelle is a gazelle. They're different. Okay, You can't mix them up and say, oh, the gazelle's going to act like a lion now, and the lion's going to act like a gazelle. It doesn't work that way. That's not the way biology works. If you have a tiger, a white tiger, or a bear, and you try to take it to Las Vegas and train it to ride on a tricycle and, put balls that he balances on his nose, yeah, you can do it. But years later, 5, 10 maybe, sooner or later, the tiger's gonna act like a tiger, and the bear's gonna act like a bear. They're gonna jump off that little tricycle and eat you. And you are the husband saying to the tiger and to the bear, oh, you know what? I'll pet the bear every day. I'll love the bear, and I will be the only one giving the bear, the tiger, white tiger, food, and I will be giving them presents. I'll give them stuff to play with, like basketball and this and that, so he can part of the round. Bat it around, and I'll give them all stuff bear-like, and every day I'll talk to them, hang out with them, petting them. Oh, good little bear, I love you, bear. It don't matter. You can't get past biology. It's the same way with getting a boss babe woman. A woman that is a biologist. She's not a mother. She's a biologist. She's a teacher. She's everything except a mother. Mother comes last. That she's telling you right there. She's telling you she's a bear and she's a tiger. If you try to make her into a wife, yeah, you could do it for 5 years or so, maybe even 10. But in the end, it's going to be horrible for your life, horrible for your family, horrible for your kids, horrible for her. Because sooner or later, she's going to jump off the tricycle and she's going to eat you. Okay, no matter how much you feed her, no matter how nice you are, giving her gifts, taking her out, treating her like a queen, sooner or later, you treat a queen like a queen. You treat a woman like a queen, she's going to act like a queen. A queen is, by definition, a female dictator who got their job through nepotism, which means, oh man, if this happens again, I'm going to freak. Which means that they're entitled. They were born into they're the queen because of birth, just for being born. That is literally the definition of entitled. They are entitled to be queen from birth. So they're entitled female dictators. So if you want a dictator, treat him like a dictator. Treat him like a queen. If you want a wife, treat him like a wife. So we have all these men being brought up by single mothers and TV and all that saying, don't be a leader, don't be a leader. So who's the only people left that can be leaders? The bad boys. Why are they leaders, though? Well, because the definition of a bad boy is that they ain't listening. They don't care what their single mother told them. They're like, screw you, single mother. I'm going to do what I want. Hey, society, hey, screw you. I'm going to do what I want. Because that's what a leader does. They do what they want, because they're the leader, right? They have the leader mentality, right? So, what does that mean now? You got your person, the dude that will give the woman everything, gifts every day, $1,000 a day, house, everything, kiss their feet and everything, let them do whatever they want. They can sleep with all the men, for God's sakes. They will step over that man, even though they want him so bad because he's so nice. But they'll give up all that. They will literally give up a billionaire who kisses their feet to be with that bad boy that doesn't give them anything, that takes everything. And then when they go to their house like at 2 a.m., 2-hour trip, go up there. It's 2 a.m. They know they're going to get kicked out in an hour because they're being used. And after they have sex and they're getting ready to leave, they'll see the kitchen is messy. They will stop and clean the kitchen first and then leave for their 2-hour trip back home, knowing before and after that what was going to happen at the end, that they are being used. That's how thirsty they are for a leader. They will do anything and give up anything to have a leader. So all you have to do is be a leader and not be a jerk, right? Right? Because then all the leaders are out there, they're all jerks, but you're the only one that ain't. So you have it made. You have it made. The thing is all I'm telling you in this video is it's only going to help you to get submissive women, the right woman, okay? And yes, it can be used to get, trick boss babes into it. You just have to pretend you're a boss babe and still be a leader without taking crap, following these instructions. You can trick them and lie. But you're just wasting your time. These boss babes, you're just wasting your time because you're getting a tiger, okay? And what we've all been lied about is this, okay? The Jews, the Muslims, whoever the other religious people are, Christians or whatever, in America, not in the Middle East, over here, all of us are taught the same thing, man. We're taught fall in love with a woman, find a woman, fall in love with her, and if you're compatible, then you should get married and you should have kids and blah blah blah. But that is a lie. That's what a little wussy boy does. Okay, a little wussy boy, because I did it. I'm not putting you down if you did it or you want to do it or whatever. I'm not saying I am putting you down, but I'm putting myself down too. I'm not saying I'm better. I'm actually probably worse than you, because I did this. I find a woman, I fall in love, she loves me, okay, we're a little bit compatible, let's get together, let's, whatever. No, that was wrong. It's because I was weak. It's easy. See, the weak man takes the easy path. The strong man takes the harder, substantial path because it leads to more substantial things in the future, okay? That's why it's a man's choice to do that way, because it leads to substantial stuff. It doesn't lead to divorce. It leads to a happy marriage that lasts as a lifetime. So that's the lie. The lie is that you can pick love and compatibility when what you should be doing is picking biology. Okay, you can either pick for biology and pick your wife as and your husband, whatever, using biology to determine who's a good candidate and who is not, or you can go by the little boy. That's what the little boy does. He says, because love is just a drug. It makes endorphins and serotonin and other hormones come out of your brain and it gets you high. That's all love is. The first a couple years or whatever. That's all love is. It's a drug. Okay? So if you sit there and you say, well, I'm going to use love and compatibility to pick my wife, well, you're basically saying, I'm going to pick a drug. I'm going to pick crack and compatibility. And if I can get high on crack and be compatible with this woman, then everything will just work out in the long run. No, when you pick stuff based on wanting to get high, guess what? It don't work out. Never. It's never a good thing, man. Never a good thing. Okay. So you can do one or the other. It's like you're getting a tiger, right? A white tiger. You remember in Nevada, he ate up the whatever, bit up the one guy that had him as a pet. So you can either get a bear or a white tiger and take him to Vegas and put him on to do the thing, make him balance the balls on his nose and ride a little tricycle around. And yeah, you can go against biology. And for a couple years, maybe 5, if you're very, very lucky, 10 years. But after so long, the bear's going to be the bear. The tiger's going to be the tiger. Okay, no matter how much you think. And you could sit there and say, I'm going to love the bear. I'm going to pet the bear. I'm going to feed the bear. I'm going to give him toys, play with him, time, give him everything this bear could ever want. It doesn't matter how much you love the bear and how much you give the bear. Sooner or later, biology takes over and he's going to eat you. Okay? So you can either pick the bear or you can pick the wife. You can pick the queen, right? And there'll be a queen. Or you can pick a wife that'll be a wife. Or you can pick the biologist who's going to be a biologist. Or you can pick the wife who's going to be a wife. You can pick the boss babe who's going to be a boss babe. Or you can pick a wife who will be a wife. It's that simple. It's not it's not some kind of rocket science thing. And I'm going to give you, this is going to be the first tip. Because so far that tip about the leader thing, that they want a leader, not a bad boy, that's not a tip. That's a key. That's a key. That's everything. That's it. You know what I mean? This is just a tip, a little tip, right? Okay, and I'll give you a million tips in these videos. What you want to pick a woman for, a wife, right, a girlfriend. There's only one thing. I mean, there's not just one thing. This is the main thing. It's not love. It's not compatibility. And obviously, you're going to pick someone that you like or whatever, and you're having feelings for, right? I'm not saying just pick anyone that you have zero feelings with, okay? I'm just saying if you find a woman and you're like, oh, she's pretty, I could see myself being with her, and then you go out on a couple dates and she's not weird or anything like that, and you're starting to like her, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's good enough, okay, because you're going to fall in love. It's easy to fall in love, actually, especially if your woman is submissive or your husband is dominant, a leader. If they're fulfilling their roles, you will not help. You can't help but to fall in love with that person. 99 out of 100 wives, right, or women. If you got 100 women and they're all submissive, 99 of them you're going to fall in love with. Maybe that 1 or 2 or 5 or whatever you still wouldn't fall in love. But if they're submissive and you're both in your roles, you're going to fall in love with her. Guaranteed. Unless she's some weirdo or something, you know what I mean? You want some tiny compatibility, you know what I mean? It's not like total, you know what I mean? But the whole thing is the lie is that you want compatibility. If you're actually a dominant man and a submissive woman, you actually have zero in common. You're actually opposites of the spectrum, right? Your interests are going to be opposite to each other. You know what I mean? This guy's going to be maybe football, working on his car. She's going to probably maybe, working in her garden or making dresses or something. You know what I mean? They're going to be total opposites, man. Total opposites. So looking for compatibility is the most moronic thing. I wish I would have known this a long time ago. But it's the most moronic thing in the world. And you'll say to me, John, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to talk about when if you can't hang out with each other because you ain't got no interest in each other, why would you do that? See, that's the thing. We've all been going out getting boss babes or getting women that weren't boss babes, but they were, they weren't submissive, okay? They had masculine whatevers and whatever. But when you get a submissive woman, if you throw all them aside and you only deal with the submissive woman, right? And each time you get the submissive woman, you know what will happen? They'll change everything. When it comes to a leader that leads, they'll take up activities for the man. If you were you're a gamer, you know what I mean? They will start. All right. Well, this is part 2. Part 3 will be coming out soon. Ian's having Pastafarian Day. Remember, he's the only one and true God there is, the Pastafarian God.